What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to the Frontline Film Podcast, episode number 14. 14 had a massive week this past week with movie news. CinemaCon was this week, so a whole lot of announcements, a couple new little trailers and everything. So we're going to dive into all of that. We also have probably the most viral movie of the year so far in a Minecraft movie. We're going to be reviewing that and talking about some other things we've been watching. And in honor of a Minecraft movie, we're going to do like a video game movie slash TV show draft. So we'll do that a little bit later. But yeah, no, huge week for movie news. A whole lot of stuff came out of CinemaCon. The first thing I want to say from the top of this pod is rest in peace to the absolute legend, Val Kilmer. Val Kilmer passed away. Can't remember what day it was. It was like Wednesday or Thursday last week, right?
Yeah.
Um, I mean, everyone knows that he's had horrible health issues. I think he had like throat cancer or something for years, and then even in Top Gun Maverick, like he didn't really speak, because everyone knows there's that documentary about him and everything. He's had horrible health issues, but he finally passed away last week, and honestly, like real sad. Like dude, I mean, he's one of those legends. He's one of those like '80s, '90s, early 2000s movie legends, dude. He's in some incredible stuff. Um, some of the most iconic movies of all time. So yeah, that was tough. That sucked. And I'll talk a little bit more about Val Kilmer later when we talk about things we've been watching this week because I actually watched a couple of his movies that I'd never seen before. But yeah, R.I.P. a legend.
Yeah, when you think about like some of the coolest like dudes in action movies and just like cool characters, you're gonna Val Kilmer is a name that is always gonna come up. Tombstone, as Doc Holliday. I mean, it's one of my dad's favorite movies of all time, so I saw that growing up. And his character is not even the main character, but he is like what
He
he
steals
should
the
be the main
show.
character. He should be
Yeah,
the main character. Him and Heat absolutely just kills it. It's one of the coolest like he is that kind of guy. He like you said, he steals the show. Even whether he's the main character, or he's not the main character. Him as Iceman and Top Gun, and even the cameo we see in Maverick. I mean, everybody was just in awe as his little performances he gets. Obviously he's in other stuff, but when you think about Kilmer, you will think of Heat. You're gonna think of Top Gun. You're gonna think of Tombstone. You're gonna think of those movies and the characters that he plays. It sucks. And like you said, it we knew that his health already wasn't good, but still it wasn't anything that we thought, oh, in the next couple of days we're gonna lose Val Kilmer. I mean, that's just
just
one
kind of
that
hit. Yeah,
you saw it the night that it happened because it happened pretty late. I was already asleep, so I actually saw it the next morning. Yeah, the Cole's right sucks. Rest in peace to an absolute legend, an absolute goat. Val Kilmer, you will be missed, and we will be watching your movies for the rest of time.
oh for sure,
And
man.
you are awesome. So
Yeah,
we
no,
love
he's a
you.
legend. He's a legend. Shout out Val Kilmer. So yeah, I just wanted to say that at the front. But now we're gonna jump into all the fun movie news and trailers we got this week. So as a lot of you probably know, CinemaCon was this past week, and it's basically just another. It's like Comic Con, but just for all the other different studios and not just like necessarily comic book related stuff. It's just everything. Every big studio had a panel. Sony, like Warner Brothers, Universal, Disney. Um, and all the other ones that I can't even think of, like Lionsgate, things like
Mhm.
that. They all had their little panels and talked about all their projects and unveiled new footage and big announcements and everything. So, yeah, we're just going to jump right into it. I think probably the biggest news, it came out that first night on the Sony panel. Got two massive news drops regarding Spider-Man. And the first being that Spider-Man 4, Tom Holland's Spider-Man 4, is going to be titled Spider-Man Brand New Day. And it's coming out next July, 2 months after Doomsday, which he's apparently not in, supposedly. So we'll see about that. But we obviously knew that we were probably getting another Tom Holland Spider-Man movie due to how the last one ended. Um, we don't really know anything about it other than they cast Sadie Sink in a role. Um, I don't know if it's going to be set before or after Doomsday, how they're going to do that. It kind of works though, even if he's not a part of Doomsday, because everyone forgot who he was. So like, they can kind of play into that. We'll just have to see. But super cool. We're getting another Tom Holland Spider-Man movie literally next year, which is crazy. Tom Holland is gonna have a massive freaking year next year.
Yeah, he is. Yeah. Yeah, this one's interesting. Remember when Infinity War came out, Ant-Man and the Wasp technically took place before it, but it came out after it. It could be a type like that, but I was gonna be on the same train that you just said that everyone forgot who he was, so they wouldn't have known to contact him, obviously, because they didn't know who he was. So I'm kind of in the fact that um they just don't call him because they can't, they don't know. Um I don't know what he's doing. He is just crying his little shut up, boy. But yeah, no. Seeing that news, brand new day. We've had the Spider-Man and the MCU all have home in it. We don't have that, so it does kind of seem like they're gonna take some things and kind of make a new story, maybe new trilogy out of the Spider-Man movies, and have day in the name or some type of day or brand new something. But yeah, you're right. I think it's gonna play into the fact that we don't know who he is technically, and nobody called him. But no, seeing Tom Holland suit up, be Peter Parker again, super stoked for that. But you are right. Tom Holland is about to get paid the next couple of years. Him and
Him and dude,
Zendaya.
him if Zendaya's in that too, bro.
Yeah,
Tom Holland and Zendaya are gonna be like the richest couple in
yeah,
the history of Hollywood next
yeah.
year.
You're right.
Um, but yeah, no, we literally know nothing, which is kind of exciting. I'm curious to see like if it's going to be a multiversal crazy story or if they do something a little more grounded. I mean, I know everyone wants them to do a grounded story with like Fisk, and like characters like that, but due to like all the right stuff and everything, I don't know if they can do that. Even like Vincent D'Onofrio had said that about Fisk only being able to appear in shows. I don't know. We'll just have to see. But yeah, big news, big news. We got another Spider-Man movie next year. Marvel Studios next year is cooking. I actually just saw a tweet and I pulled it up. Um, every Marvel Studios project dropping in 26. We got Spider-Man Brand New Day, Avengers Doomsday. They both have day in it. Daredevil Born Again Season 2, X-Men 97 Season 2, The Punisher Special, and The Vision Show. That's just everything that's confirmed. So pretty big year for Marvel Studios. Cool stuff. We will be there. Is your cat okay?
No, it's fine. Just keep going.
And then part two of the Spider-Man news on the Sony panel. We got our first look and kind of announcement for Spider-Man Beyond the Spider-Verse, the third movie in the Spider-Verse little franchise trilogy that we've gotten.
When it was supposed to
Obviously
come
the
out.
first two are unreal.
Yeah.
And the second one ended on just an unreal cliffhanger.
Yeah.
Um, this movie was supposed to come out, I think, like the next year after the last one, but
hmm The next
obviously due
spring. It was supposed to
due
come
to
out
like
like
the
the next
animate,
March.
I think it was supposed to come out like this year, but
I thought.
everything just kept getting delayed.
Yeah.
Um, and they released like the first couple images of it. Looks super cool. It said it picks up literally exactly where the second one leaves off, but we don't get it until June 4th of 2027, which blows. But with a movie like this and the kind of movie that it is, I want them to take their time on the animation because that's what makes these movies so great. They're fantastic. They're both beautiful to look at. I know I like the first one better. You like the second one a little better. They're both elite animated movies. Um, just unreal stuff. So I know we're very excited. Kind of sucks. I thought maybe we'd get it next year, but since we get Spider-Man 4 next year, I think it's okay. So, um, 2027, we will be there night one, like night zero. I cannot wait. I think it has the potential to be like one of the greatest trilogies of all time, when it's said and done.
Yeah, no, it does suck because, like you said, we were supposed to get this relatively soon after the last one. And I thought we were going to get a 2026 release maybe in like November, December. Having to wait till the next year, halfway through the next year, really sucks because, dude, the first two are up there like with the best like 1-2 punches in movies. They are probably two of the best animated 1-2 movies. I mean, you're up there with Toy Story. You're up there with movies like that. No, I would have to agree that when this is said and done, if this one is the same caliber as the first two, when you think of trilogies, you're gonna have the Spider-Verse trilogy in there. Everything about this movie is pleasing to look at. The voice acting is incredible. The stories are just so good. The music is top tier. Like
Music.
everything about these movies are really, really good. Like you said, like I thought the second one was one of the best movies of that year it came out. You loved, I mean, literally high praise for the first one. But both of them together are amazing stories. F the cliffhanger because I want it like tomorrow, but waiting till a lot of work goes into these movies because of how they look, that animation style. And they kind of like started. I mean, we didn't really see a movie with that animation style. That was relatively new type when the movie came out. So look, if they're gonna take their time and do an A+ story and do it justice, I hope it's 3 hours long. I really do. I hope it's like really long. But no, waiting until 2027 when me and you are 27 years old. That sucks. But I'll take it if it's at the level of the other two.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. So yeah, that was the big news from Sony. Two pretty big Spider-Man pieces of news. So definitely we're both very pumped for that. I honestly, off the top of my head, can't even think of what studio John Wick is, but we got some John Wick news as well. I think it was the next day. A couple little John news. What the heck? A John Wick news items came out. So I think obviously the big one is they announced John Wick 5 is happening.
Yep.
Chad Stahelski is returning to direct. It's
Yep.
already being written. Um, I mean, sick. We love John Wick. All four are incredible.
Elite.
All four of them are
Yep.
so good.
Hmm.
Um, but the fourth one ended like perfectly for him. So I'm a little scared. Um, unless it's like takes place before or in between or something. I don't know. Um, because yeah, I mean, it was just so perfect. His death or whatever at the end of four, spoilers, was just awesome. It was like earned, and it was memorable, and it was like perfect for the character. So I don't really know when it's going to be placed. We will be there because we love John Wick, we love Keanu Reeves. I saw some people theorizing that like, what if it's John Wick in hell, like fighting all of his like past enemies? And
Please.
I'm like, dude, give it
Please.
to me. I'm there. Like,
Please.
that sounds so sick.
Yep.
I don't know if they would do that, but I mean, yeah, I guess there's a lot of avenues you could go with this. And then another thing, and then we can get your thoughts. They announced like an animated prequel as well. Going to be animated about him like getting out of whatever that organization is called again. I forgot. I can't think of it at the top of my head. What is it?
I can't remember.
Oh well. It's gonna be about like him getting out of it, and, like the impossible task that he had to do to, basically get free of it.
Hmm.
Animated, super cool. Keanu Reeves is also returning to voice in that as well. So I think that's super cool. Yeah. So what do you think?
I love the John Wicks. My dad sees zero movies in theaters, but we have seen the last three John Wicks in theaters. And we've been in there day one, weekend one. It comes out. Cole went and saw the third one with him. With him, it was all of
Yeah,
us
with
together.
y'all. Yeah.
Yeah, no, we love John Wicks. We love all of them. The animated one for like a prequel is very interesting. I kind of like that route. Just say, hey, Keanu, you're not gonna have to do a lot of voice lines anyway, so just come do your 30 minutes of voice line time and we'll do the rest. Don't worry about us. That'll be very interesting. And yeah, I'm with you. The fourth one ended perfectly, but there was always a question mark about did he really die? Did he just do that to get out? We always like even at the end like we thought maybe there was a chance because we didn't really see anything. We just saw him pass over on the stairs and we didn't see anything after that really. I wouldn't be shocked if he just faked his death to get out of it because that's what he wanted to do for like literally three movies was just he didn't want to do that anymore, and we saw that. John Wick is awesome. He's such a good character. We're gonna get a very, very, very sick movie in Ballerina this year, and that one's gonna be dope because we'll see him in that movie. So super excited to see him again. But yeah, no, John Wick 5 weekend one, opening night. I'll be there. You'll be there. My dad will be there. So no, I'm cool with it. I do like. I saw the tweets that were like, "What if he's in hell fighting demons?" I was like, ah,
Yeah.
that'd be sick. That'd be
Give it to
pretty
me.
cool. So yeah, no, I'm in.
Yeah, no, for sure. Big cool news there. Um, and that same day at CinemaCon, another big, I guess you can almost call it a franchise now. They announced the title for Now You See Me 3. That's going to be Now You See Me, Now You Don't. Haha, very clever. Uh, I really think, Now You Three Me was like staring them right in the face and they just didn't take it. But so yeah, so we got the title for that. That comes out in November, I believe.
Mhm.
But then well, I don't think either one of us knew, but they actually announced a fourth one.
Mhm.
They're gonna do a fourth one as well. So cool stuff. I think we both love the first one. The
Yeah.
second one is not that great. It's got a couple cool moments, definitely a step down. But the whole original cast is returning for both of these, I think. And one of them's coming out this year, so I will definitely be there. I think Jesse Eisenberg like said that he had so much fun, filming this third one, and he's excited to do a fourth. Um, and that's pretty cool from him coming off his big Oscars campaign for his movie A Real Pain this past year. So yeah, nah, dude. We really enjoy those movies. They're very unique heist movies, as we talked about in our heist movie draft a couple weeks ago. Um, Incorporating magic and everything, and it's just a great cast. It's him,
Yeah.
it's Woody Harrelson. We've had Michael Caine, Morgan Freeman, Mark Ruffalo, Isla Fisher, a couple others,
Dave
Daniel Radcliffe.
Franco.
So
Yeah.
yeah,
No, I do think it's very interesting because I was kind of blindsided by the fourth one being announced. I was like, oh, well, okay, that's cool. Yeah, these are very unique heist movies. Very cool, very different. They incorporate just close-up magic like you'll see on stage, card tricks, all of that, and it's very cool. And but they make it like I don't know, like realistic, I think is a good word, even though like they use random card tricks or random stuff to deceive everybody else because it's like the whole point of that magic stuff is deceiving, just deceiving with your hands. So I just think they're very cool. Eisenberg is fun, Harrelson, Dave Franco, who else? Morgan Freeman, Ruffalo. You said Isla Fisher was the one returning, which
I
again, the
think
first one is definitely better than the second one. But again, the second one still has fun moments, but the first one is still like I'm not gonna say iconic, but you definitely like if you've seen it, it's very memorable because of the way they portrayed, and there's like the twist as well. So very interested to see where this one goes because obviously they're gonna set up a fourth one and how that works. So. Very interested. I love Now You See Me, the first one. Second one is still interesting, but happy that the third one's coming out this year. Can't wait to see like a trailer and stuff to actually like dive deep into it.
yeah, and I'm sure we'll get a trailer here in the next couple months. I
Yeah,
mean, you got to think about it. It's already April,
I know.
so it's wild. Time's flying. But yeah, so that's Now You See Me, and then we're getting a fourth one. So that's pretty cool. Now, actually, I guess we can officially like dip into franchise territory
Yeah,
here. So
yeah.
um yeah, so last big piece of movie news. I think this was probably the most shocking news. I didn't even believe it at first because it did drop on April Fool's Day. I don't think a lot of people believed this.
I didn't.
I didn't really at first, and then I just kept seeing like official pages tweet it, and I was like, "Wait, is this actually happening?" And after we looked at it a little more, it is. Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, directed by Tarantino, is getting a sequel about Brad Pitt's character. I think his name was like Cliff Booth or Cliff Moon or something like that.
Clip Booth.
The stunt man, is getting a sequel. Tarantino's not directing, but he did write the script, and David Fincher will be directing, who's another like pretty iconic director. He did what? Fight Club and Seven. I mean,
Seven.
that's all you need to know. Gone Girl. Uh,
The one that came out last year.
The Killer. Yeah. I mean, he's up there with like, some of the best directors of all time. So, um, I don't like. I was just shocked by this. Brad Pitt is confirmed to return. Not 100% confirmed. I don't think we don't know if Leo is going to be in it or not yet, or who else. But Cliff Booth was Is it Cliff Booth or Boone?
Both. You're right. Clip
He
both.
was sick. And Brad Pitt's obviously awesome. Um, and we loved that movie. So I mean, it's cool. Definitely unexpected. Not something that I anticipated coming. But if Tarantino's actually involved, I have faith. The only thing that scares me is that it is going to be on a Netflix. It's a Netflix release, which is eh.
Yeah, no. When I saw the news, I thought it was a joke, and rightfully so. I mean, we got a lot of jokes that day. So, I don't know if I like. I like, yes, he's an interesting character. Yes, it's very cool. I just don't think this is something we really like need, I guess. And Tarantino's not directing, and the whole point of like these characters working the way they do is because Tarantino directs it. I that probably doesn't make a lot of sense, but like when you watch a lot of movies, you kind of know that if somebody else were to direct his movies, it would not work as well because they don't it's not it's his own style. It's a way of talking, dialogue, all of that. Not to say David Fincher's not goated. He literally is, but they're going to write characters a little bit differently. They're going to be portrayed a little bit differently, and that's just the way that it is. The direct release Netflix, we no. David Fincher has proven time and time again that he can get you to the movie theaters and make banger movies, right? I mean, Fight Club. I think Fight Club technically flopped at the box office when it came out, but that's besides the point. And then Seven, like these are really good movies. Don't do this direct to Netflix stuff. This is a problem that we keep on having. We keep bringing this up because it keeps being prominent. And it sucks. Um,
Yeah. I mean, hopefully, Tarantino is it's one of the biggest names in the history of Hollywood
right,
ever. And I think
exactly.
he is going to try to fight for at least a small theatrical release
Yeah,
at
yeah,
minimum.
yeah.
So
And
we'll see.
he's somebody that consistently says like go to the movies. Like he is
Yeah.
one person that like will tell you you need to watch his movies definitely in a theater. Like he's not going to tell you to sit at home and watch it. So no, this will be interesting. He'll definitely, I agree with you. He'll push back a little bit. Be like, let's get this in a theater.
Yeah. Yeah. No, for sure. So yeah, that was some wild news. I don't think anybody expected. We all thought it was fake, but still pretty cool. We'll be there. We love that movie and that character. Brad Pitt's the man. So hey, Fincher and Tarantino pairing up, that's kind of cool. We don't really see like two big directors like link up like that a lot. So
Yep.
that's really cool.
Yep.
Um, so yeah, that was pretty much all the news from CinemaCon this past week. We got a couple trailers we can kind of run through them pretty quick. Um, Probably the biggest trailer of the week literally just came out yesterday or 2 days ago. We got the first trailer for Tron Ares, starring Jared Leto. Jeff Bridges is returning. First Tron movie in like 15 years since Tron Legacy. I know you're not the biggest Tron guy, but I'll take that back. I don't like the first Tron, the original. That's the one that my dad likes, that my dad grew up on. Tron Legacy, though, is sick. It's such a good movie. It's visually still one of the best movies of the last like 20 years. The music, uh, you can say what you want about the acting, but like you're there for pretty visuals and like cool music and action. Um, this was only like a 1 minute trailer. You get a very brief look at Jared Leto. I don't even think you see Jeff Bridges in the trailer. Um, but it
You hear
looks
his
sick.
voice though, right? You hear his
The
voice.
effects, yeah, you hear his voice. The effects look great. Looks like Tron's been brought to the real world. It's what it kind of looked like. So I guess we'll just have to see. I know you're not the biggest Tron guy, but
That's
I
just
am really
because of like
excited.
the acting and the story and stuff just doesn't intrigue me. I can't argue with you because even in the trailer, like it looks gorgeous. Like, and that's kind of like you said, like you're gonna go see Tron because of the way it looks, not because of the way it tells the story. So obviously, I'll give it a chance. No, I don't like the Trons personally. They're not my favorite movies. They're not going to be ones I pick. But if they look good, if they look like they did with the neon colors and everything against like a real like background setting, you can draw me in like that. So, and it looked good in the trailer. So,
Yeah. Very brief trailer. It's more of a teaser than anything, but looks cool. The score sounded cool by Nine Inch Nails, so that'll be
yeah,
that'll be cool.
yeah.
Um, Another trailer we got this week was also pretty much just a teaser trailer, but we got our first little look at the new Naked Gun reboot starring Liam Neeson. And he's basically playing the son of the guy from the originals. Um, I love seeing Liam Neeson in like a comedy role. He's had a couple little things here over the years, and he's proven that he can be hilarious. Whether it's like his little scene in Ted 2 or um, um, A Million Ways to Die in the West. He's also in the Lego Movie, plays the cop. He's proven he's got the juice, and dude, this trailer's really funny. And the OJ joke, like at the end, super funny. Um, this movie has a pretty good cast too. It's him, Paul Walter Hauser, Cody Rhodes is in it.
Mm.
Um, yeah. What do you think?
No, dude, the trailer's goofy as hell. This would be one that I am very like intrigued to see because, like you said, like Liam Neeson doesn't, I don't think has a movie like with like he's comedic like the whole time. He has his little like puns here and there, his jokes here and there. But he's known for serious roles. He's known for his very serious roles. And you can go down the list. But no, this will be very interesting. The OJ joke, literally wild. But no, he's obviously hilarious. He rips that mask off, and you're like, what the hell? But no, this will be interesting. This will be funny. I'm excited because I like Liam Neeson a lot.
Yeah, we don't get a ton of like pure comedies anymore, and I
No.
know those original Naked Guns are like pure comedies. So that comes out later this year. I think like August maybe. I could be making that up. Looks funny. Looks really good. I'm excited for that. And then the last trailer that we got this week, that I thought looks sick. It kind of caught me off guard. Not anything I was expecting. We got a trailer for Fountain of Youth. It's a new Apple TV movie starring John Krasinski and Natalie Portman. And who else was in it?
Stanley Tucci was in it.
Stanley Tucci. That's it.
But there's a couple other ones not important, I guess. But yeah.
Um, Fountain of Youth. Here we go.
Yeah, John
There's
Krasinski,
one big
Natalie
one I'm
Portman,
leaving
Stanley
out.
Tucci. Man, just watch the trailer. How could I
Oh,
forget?
Isaac Gonzalez. That's who it
Yeah.
was. Isaac Gonzalez. Domhnall Gleeson. Basically looks like you said, Indiana Jones, National Treasure vibes, James Bond vibes. I think it looks sick. I love like treasure hunt movies and like movies where they use history to like, look for something or go on the hunt for something.
Hmm.
Um, I think it looks pretty cool. And it's Apple TV and it's pretty
Yeah.
solid cast. And it's Guy Ritchie. Guy Ritchie's
Yeah.
directing it.
Yeah, this one should be good. Me and you both love John Krasinski. Natalie Portman's also awesome. Stanley Tucci, I love and everything. I don't think he really has any bad roles. But no, this one, yeah, like we brought up, Indiana Jones meets National Treasure meets James Bond. Please, I'm there. I'll be watching, and we'll probably have a review on that because why would we not? And the Fountain
Yeah.
of Youth is something that's like told over time, and we never really see anything on the actual Fountain of Youth, so this will be interesting.
Yeah, nah, looks pretty cool. Comes out May 23rd, the same day as Mission Impossible and Lilo and Stitch. So that'll be a fat episode. But we're here.
Yikes.
We're built for it.
Yeah.
All right, so that is all of the movie news and trailers from the past week. Now we're going to jump into what we've actually been watching. And number one on the list, we've talked about it the last couple weeks. We got a new episode of Daredevil Born Again. Really good episode. I gotta say from the jump. How the last one ended, kind of Fisk and Matt coming back into like their full form as Kingpin and Daredevil. And this one like picks up right off from where we left off. I would say this is basically like it's literally like I said on last week's pod. I wanted an episode kind of with a little more Muse, and that's what this episode was. We got to know Muse a little bit more. We figured out that he had been seeing Heather, Matt's therapist girlfriend lady. Uh, and yeah, and over the course of like her session with him, she kind of like figures out that he is Muse. He knocks her out, and then she wakes up, and he's in his full Muse gear. And then, of course, Matt is halfway across the city, and he figures it out. How does he figure? Oh, he finds the pictures of her, right? So Matt's in Muse's lair investigating, and he's filling up everything, trying to figure out if he can get anything. And he fills his picture, and he fills it over a couple times, and he can tell that it's Heather's face. So that's when he heads to her as all that's going down with Muse.
Which is also like, look, that is wild.
Yeah,
Like that's the craziest thing I've ever seen in my life. Like Okay, I know my wife's face, guys. Like I know it. If someone drew her face and said, "How does this feel like her?" 0 out of 100 times am I saying that it feel like how would I know? That's the wildest thing that I think they've ever pulled on us.
Yeah. Yeah, kind of ridiculous, but I don't know, still cool. Um,
I get the heightened senses and everything, but that's like,
ridiculous.
yeah, I'm sorry. I'm just gonna throw that out there.
No, it's a little nuts, but so yeah, so Matt goes and um goes to save her, and has to fight Muse. They beat the piss out of each other. Cops show up, you know, all that typical Daredevil stuff, and then um she actually ends up shooting Muse and killing him. I thought his like that final shot of him was kind of cool. He was like on a canvas, covered in blood, and then
Uh,
he, had his outfit on and everything. It just kind of looked cool. Um,
Symbolic, man.
yeah, yeah. So I mean, other than that happening, it wasn't just like a super major important episode. It didn't really like push forward the Fisk storyline too much, other than that he now knows that Daredevil's back on the streets. And he's, basically trying to look for him. And he's telling his task force, like, look, get this guy. And then some of them are like, look, he's kind of helping us out. And Fisk is like, I don't care. Get this guy.
Yeah.
Because of the past,
Yep.
they've had and everything. So, um, yeah, I mean, pretty solid episode. I don't really think there's too much to say about it. I did hear Charlie Cox was asked in an interview like before the season came out what his favorite episode was of the whole season, and he said episode 8, which is the next one that we're getting. Um, we know the Punisher's coming back in neither one of these two episodes, and apparently Karen's coming back too. So we're gonna have to see how all that plays out. But yeah, did you like the episode?
Yeah,
Other
so
than that kind of ridiculous face rub?
yeah, no, even though I say it's like wild and ridiculous, like you do kind of get a sense like this is what makes like Daredevil Daredevil. Like he does have these heightened senses. Yes, yes, it's absurd, but we're in a world where there's aliens and there's all this crazy stuff. Like so obviously that's to be expected. Um, I agree that I think the Muse like backstory, finding out more about him as a person and like what drives him is kind of cool. Because like again, like this is not a comic book character I've read about, so I could have
He was
speculated.
really interesting in the
Yeah, he's
little
a
bit that
very
we got
interesting
of him.
character. We kind of get Heather being like, "Look, I can see through you, Matt. Like I know something's going on." And Matt is, trying to play it off, and Cherry gets pissed, or Sherry gets pissed at him, and is like, basically like, "Why are you doing this? Like, you shouldn't be back in this line of work. You're gonna upend everything you've been working for." So we kind of get like some things like people are seeing through Matt already and being like, "Why are you? What's up? What's the deal?" But at the end of the day, Matt knows that like especially in this episode, like his one goal was to catch Muse. Like he wanted to get Muse, he wanted to get him off the street because he's a serial killer. He's killing a lot of people. And I also like the shot where he gets a nosebleed and he starts drawing with his blood. I thought that was kind of cool. Just subtle. Is it his
It
greatest
was creepy.
Yeah, is it his greatest masterpiece that he made? No, it's very simple. It's not even that good. But he draws it in his own blood, which is also, kind of a crazy scene when you figure out, okay, well, how much blood did he actually lose in his nose? But no, he's a very interesting, complex character. I hate to see that, he dies. So, because we only technically get what, like 3 episodes with him, like not that many.
Really only like
We know he's in the
one.
background. We know he's in the background the whole time. Um, but no, he's a very complex character. It seems like Heather, the scene where he's in the therapy session with Heather, I think is very cool because they're, like she wants to find out like what the deal is once she figures out kind of who he is. Um, and then, it's just it's not a filler episode. I'm not even gonna say it's a filler episode, but it's a very cool episode with a very cool villain. Couple of outlandish things, but that's what makes a comic book show, right? Like he can tell that it's his girlfriend just by feeling paintings. I think that's crazy, but I don't know. I mean, it was a very good episode. I think we find like I always like villains. You and I both know that. Like I want a villain who has like depth. I don't want these like surface level villains that I don't care about and will forget. Muse, despite being a character that we only see fully in 2 or 3 episodes, is a character that I'm going to remember. And that comes from the performance from the actor. I don't know his name. You might know his name off the top of your head, but he's very creepy, very subtle, very all that. And dude, he's killing people and siphoning their blood to paint murals in a city. That's
Pretty wild.
weird. Okay,
Yeah.
so
Yeah. Yeah, no, I mean, really cool episode. I mean, one complaint I've seen on Twitter, and I definitely kind of agree with it. I wish we would have gotten more time with him because he really is like a really creepy, fascinating
yes,
character, that I think we could have gotten a lot more with. But, um, obviously, like he's not the main, he is not the main villain
right.
of this show. It's always been Fisk, and it will always be Fisk. He was basically just like, a side character, which kind of sucks, but is what it is. And the time that we did get to spend with him, really cool, interesting villain, really creepy, honestly. Like I feel like we don't get a lot of like creepy MCU villains. He was definitely like made me uncomfortable. So, yeah, pretty solid episode, and we got two bangers coming up. It's over in 2 weeks, but obviously Punisher's coming back, Karen's coming back. Probably get a lot more like actual Daredevil stuff, with him and Fisk. So we'll just kind of have to see how it comes to a head. Um, yeah, so that is Daredevil. And then the other show that we started talking about last week, uh, on Apple TV Plus, The Studio. This is episode three, right? Because
Yep.
we got the first two.
Went through.
This was episode three, of the Seth Rogen show, and I'll let you kind of take it away because I know you watched it first.
Yeah, so basically in this one, dude, I'm blanking on the director's name. I don't
Ron
know.
Howard.
Ron Howard.
Ron Howard.
Ron Howard. Okay. Okay, so basically in this movie, Ron Howard is has made a movie, and at the beginning of the episode, we kind of see them going to watch the movie. It stars Anthony Mackie, kind of like as a taxi driver who kind of is like a, has like a hitman background, but is kind of like a cool dude. Same time, really, that part doesn't matter. But the movie, the first 2 hours of the movie, they say is like really good. Seth Rogen's loving it. Catherine Hahn's in there. The secretary and his best friend, they're all in there. And they love the first 2 hours. And it cuts to black. They think the movie's over and everything. What then follows is a 45-minute sequence at a hotel that we learn that is Ron Howard trying to pay tribute to his dead cousin that he lost at a young age. Everybody hates the 45-minute sequence and they hate the hotel sequence. That is the whole part of the whole episode. And it is like when they find out, they all walk out and are like, this shit sucks. It's the worst thing I've ever seen in my life. When was the movie going to end? And this is like people who just saw the first 2 hours and loved it. So what they end up coming up with is that they have to give Ron Howard a note, and Seth Rogen is supposed to give the note because he's a studio head, right? And um, basically to cut the whole hotel sequence. Luckily, Ron Howard is coming in for a meeting for like a
Talk
what?
about it. They were talking about
Yeah,
like posters
to
and stuff,
promote
right?
the movie, to help promote the movie. It's like a social media type thing. Well, luckily, Anthony Mackie also shows up. So the first part of the meeting is them basically trying to figure out like when Ron Howard's not there, like how are we gonna give him the note? How are we gonna give him the note? The best friend, what's his name in real life?
Ike.
Yeah, Ike. Gets dragged in to basically go in there and tell him that he also had a dead cousin and that he doesn't feel like that should be in the movie. But it ends up Ron Howard saying beautifully, like, "Oh, this is why I created it." And Ike goes back in there and he's like, "I can't tell him. I told him that it was perfect and it should say in the movie." So that part's hilarious because everybody's like, "You're a coward, like you have no spine," like stuff like that. Um, and Anthony Mackie comes rolling in right after that, and Anthony Mackie walks into the office, and he basically says, "Yo, you gotta cut this shit. You gotta cut this shit. This shit's awful. Like it is the worst part of the movie. Like the first 2 hours are great. Hotel sequence sucks. That is the funniest part of the whole show. When he walks in there and has a conversation with him, I was rolling. Anthony Mackie is hilarious. Him and Seth Rogen going back and forth like, "That's your job. This is my job." Like doing all that. Anthony Mackie has some memorable quotes. The funniest part is he's when he yells "what," like when he's like "what," and like Seth Rogen is there. Dude, me and Cameron were laughing our ass off. Um, And then after that, so Seth Rogen is finally like, okay, like we'll just say that it's good, or no, we'll say that we're gonna go in there and tell him, I need Anthony Mackie, I need you to have my back, like I need you to have my back. They go in there and they're doing the posters and everything. Well, Ron Howard, they have posters based off the taxi cab. Ron Howard basically says, "What if we had a poster of the hotel scene?" And everybody's like, "Oh shit!" Like this is the worst part of the movie. He doesn't know. Um, and basically like what we come to find out also is that he made a Seth Rogen was a an early studio head, or he worked at the studio. He had a note for what movie?
A Beautiful Mind.
A
It's
Beautiful
a movie
Mind.
with Russell Crowe.
Yeah,
Really good
and
movie.
yeah, he said that they should the whole audience should know that the imaginary friend is an imaginary friend the whole movie. And he gets laughed out of there. And Ron Howard, Seth Rogen thinks Ron Howard does not know it's him. Well, Ron Howard brings it up in the meeting, and everyone's laughing at him. Even Anthony Mackie is laughing at him. And finally, Seth Rogen snaps and said, "That hotel sequence fucking sucks. You need to take it out of the movie. It's fucking horrible."
Everyone
Like,
hates it.
yeah. So they basically like fight. He pushes him over. Seth Rogen falls over something. It's like chaotic if you've seen the studio. It's basically a scene that we got similar to the second episode where
When he
he's
fell.
running through the water. Finally, Ron Howard calls him, and he's basically, once the episode's dying down, he's like, "You're right about the hotel sequence. Like, I'm gonna take it out." But then he also makes the subtle comment of, "If you double cross me again, I'll fucking kill you." Like, he makes that comment.
He
The
does.
episode is so funny. The studio so far has been so funny. Just them going back and forth, kind of just it's shot so well too because the camera's panning back and forth. It feels like you're actually in the room with them. Seeing like Ron Howard and even in the other episodes, Scorsese, like they're actually like good actors. Like they actually can go toe to toe with like Seth Rogen, Anthony Mackie, and all of them. I have enjoyed this show a lot more than I thought I was going to. I thought it was going to be good, but like when you compare it to like The Bear, which we know we both love, this one on a movie studio and Seth Rogen just being absolutely hilarious. Anthony Mackie we see absolutely hilarious. Ron Howard is absolutely hilarious. I mean, dude, they just kill it in this episode. This was my favorite episode so far. I know that you don't think that, but like this is the one that I thought I laughed the hardest at and I thought was just wild that Ron Howard was a really good actor in this and he held his own. And I know he was a child actor too, so like don't think I don't know
Was he?
he's not a
I
good
didn't even know
actor.
that.
Huh?
I don't even think I knew that.
Yeah, no, he was an actor as a child, but this episode in particular made me almost cry laughing. Like I was rolling.
Yeah. No, it wasn't my favorite, but it was still a great episode. And I love how this show, it doesn't really seem like there's like one continuous storyline. It looks like every episode's going to be its own thing, which I love. It's
Yeah,
refreshing. I think every show nowadays like has feels like they have to have like a thread, a story thread
yeah,
through the whole thing, make it one coherent thing. I like the idea of like every episode being its own little adventure, kind of like cartoons back in the day. It's just
yeah.
you get your fun little story for the week, and then the next week you get a new one. It's not really connected. Um, so I'm really enjoying like that aspect of it. Yeah, dude, super funny. I'm loving how all these like directors and people you wouldn't think can act are like actually acting their asses off.
No, yeah,
Dude, I am eating this shit up. This
yeah,
show, if you love movies as much as I do and as much as we do, this is like your dream. This is
yeah,
just like your dream show. It is we're only 3 episodes in. I think it's like the best like Hollywood content about Hollywood that we've ever really gotten that I can think of off the top of my head, other than like Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, which we talked about earlier. Um, like film heads like us just love all this, like all the deep references and stuff. And it's just I'm eating it up like slop. Like I love it. I'm so glad it's like 10 episodes. We still get
yeah.
like a ton more. There's still a whole bunch more cameos. I
And
know
then
still to
they've
come.
also been like drastic in like time. We got an hour, we got a 25-minute one, and then this one was 40 minutes. So you're getting like each little episode, like you said, is a different thing going on, but they're also different times. So you're not investing the same amount of time in every episode.
Yeah.
You had an hour for the first one, and then the second one was only 25 minutes. But
Yeah.
I wouldn't be shocked if like they all go to about 40 minutes and that's gonna be like the overall time. But no, dude, you are absolutely right. Not having where you don't like if you were to go on a studio, let's say this movie or this show was coming out weekly, you could go into a week and not know anything about the other episodes and be perfectly fine. Like if you watch this episode, you didn't have to see the last two. You wouldn't know.
Yeah.
So no, I agree with you. 100%.
No, dude, such a good show. I'm literally loving it. I knew I would once I saw the first trailer, but like it's exceeding my expectations. I think it could be, I mean, obviously Severance is Severance, but like I think this could potentially by the end of it like be my favorite show of the year.
Yeah.
Um I mean it's two completely different things,
Yeah,
but
yeah, absolutely.
uh I love it. It's so good. Seth Rogen's incredible. Ike Barinholtz, I think he's like kind of getting to shine here. He's always been, Seth Rogen's like the side guy in a lot of his movies, and he's doing really good. I think his name in the show is Sal. Am I
Yeah,
right? Right
that
there.
might be right.
Um, yeah. No, great show. And also, I didn't know if you knew. Do you know who Ron Howard's daughter is?
Is her last name Howard?
Yeah,
You're gonna say it, and I'll probably be like, oh,
Bryce Dallas Howard.
oh, see,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, yeah.
right.
That's his daughter.
Nice. Dang, is he that old?
I guess, man.
Interesting.
But
Didn't know
no,
that.
another great episode of the studio. Loving these shows. Soon we're gonna be getting to talk about Andor and Last of
Last
Us,
of
which
Us.
starts next Sunday.
Shit.
I'm not ready for that first episode.
Oh man.
But yeah, so that's Daredevil in the studio. Now we are gonna jump into our movie review. Without a doubt, the most talked about movie of the year so far.
Oh yeah.
I have not seen a movie go this viral since probably like No Way Home, or like Avengers Endgame movies like that. You're getting all the theater reactions. And that is a Minecraft movie, the new movie about Minecraft starring Jack Black, Jason Momoa, and a couple other people. You got Jennifer Coolidge in it in a super small role, but it's really Jack Black and Jason Momoa's movie. Um, and yeah, it is based off the when it was first announced, we all knew it was just going to be outrageous. It was going to be so stupid. And then we get the first couple trailers, we're like, oh my God, this like could potentially be the worst movie ever made or the stupidest. Um, but obviously, it's a kids movie. We know it's a kids movie, and you have to go into it with that mindset. Um, and I gotta say, me and you saw this movie together. It is one of the stupidest movies I've ever seen, but I had a great time with it. I think I had a great time with it. We had a pretty fun theater experience. Theater experience. A bunch of the kids were yelling and everything. Not quite as ridiculous. I saw that in the background. Not quite as ridiculous as some of the ones I've seen on Twitter. I'm sure you've seen some of the theater reactions on Twitter of people like throwing popcorn in there and kids just getting up and cheering at certain quotes and stuff. But man, it is going super ultra viral, and I love it. I love it for Jack Black and Jason Momoa. I love it for like just movies in general and the box office. Um, this movie's crushing. It crushed expectations. They expected it to make 150 mil. It made over 300 mil. It literally over doubled their projections, which is just massive W.
Yeah.
Whether a movie is good or bad, whatever, if it makes a shitload of money, that makes me happy because that
Yep.
means people are going to the movies.
Yep.
People are bringing their kids, people are bringing their families to the movies. Um, and when movies like this succeed, we're going to get more movies like this, which I would definitely be down for, another Minecraft movie or movies like this, especially like video game movies.
Hmm.
Um, Video game content, and we're going to talk about it here in a little bit when we do a draft, has really blown up over the last couple of years, and I think that's because of like the success of streaming and Fortnite, and like Ninja and Tim the Tatman, like all these streamers have just made like video games cool again. And I think even like movie studios and stuff are starting to like realize that, so they're starting to do a lot more of these adaptations. Some are definitely not good, but
Yeah.
some are great,
Hmm.
um, as we'll talk about later. But yeah, so obviously Minecraft is very much a kid's game. We've been playing it since we were literally like 10. Um, and then we even played it the other night just for fun for a little bit. But um, Yeah, just absolutely ridiculous movie. So stupid. So dumb, but a great, great time. And I know you kind of felt the same way as well.
I told Cole if this movie does not make $1 billion, I would be absolutely shocked. This movie, especially now with making over 300 million in 3 freaking days,
Yeah.
I mean, it's going to make 1 billion, and rightfully so, man. I mean, you have the best-selling video game of all time at your fingertips. You could have done anything with it. Is this the one that I thought they were gonna go, like the route they were gonna go? No, I thought they were gonna do some animated thing, which I would have probably liked better overall. But this movie wasn't trying to win Oscars. This movie was trying to make money and cater to children. If you go into this movie thinking it's going to be an amazing time, like an amazing well-made movie, then why are you thinking that? This movie is made and catered towards a younger audience, and they are eating it up. And that's
Hmm.
exactly what they thought it was going to do. $300 million in 3 days, we don't see that very often. This
You don't
movie
see
will
that
make a
like
billion
even with
dollars.
superhero movies like MCU stuff nowadays.
Yes.
Like,
No.
you don't get that a lot.
No, and this is catered towards an audience like they play Minecraft all the time. When you think about the two games that probably a large amount of middle school and younger kids play, it's Minecraft and it's Fortnite. Minecraft knew what they've already made so much money off the game. Let's make a movie. Let's get Jack Black to do it, who's one of the most likable actors in Hollywood. Let's get Jason Momoa and let's get a couple other people. Let's make a kick-ass movie. Kids, this might be their first theater experience for the most part. Like
Mhm.
I can only imagine like some of the people that we saw in our theater, that's their first time at a movie theater. They were young, they were like with their parents. They're buying the Minecraft boxes. They probably bought the Minecraft meal at McDonald's. They did all that. Minecraft, you are a genius. You are a genius for doing this. Thank you for doing this because that means people are going to go out. They're going to realize how cool the movie theater is, and they're going to go see more movies. They're going to
Yep.
do that. That's just the way this works. Really needed a movie like this.
Yeah.
Super Mario Bros. Was kind of the last movie to do it. They succeeded. They made over $1 billion. Now let's go to Minecraft, which they're going to succeed. They're probably going to make $1 billion. If this movie stays in theaters, like it should, this will make $1 billion.
Oh, it will.
This movie is fun as hell, dude. I do not care. References galore, funny comments galore. We laughed out loud probably 10 times, could not catch our
More
breath.
than that, dude.
Um,
It was
is the movie good? Not really. Not really. I will say, and me and you already talked about it, the animation is kind of impressive. Um,
the visual effects are like surprisingly look awesome.
yes,
I
yes.
was nervous. I was
Yes,
nervous.
very nervous. I will say this too, like I thought that they were gonna look very awkward against the animation. They look like they were right in the middle of it. Like it
Yeah, it
did
didn't
not
look
look
as bad.
awkward.
I think they did like some different renderings after the
Yeah.
trailer came out. It definitely looked a lot better than the trailers did.
Yes, they look like they were actually in the world and everything. This story is just as basic could get. It's not anything special. The acting is okay apart from the bromance between Jason Momoa and Jack Black. They look like they had the absolute time of their lives. They look like like you said, they might not even had a script going in. They said just say some stuff and just go with it. Just, go off the dome with it. This movie, if you have a like kid, like if you have a child or you know your kid plays Minecraft or maybe your nephew or niece or anything like that, like go take them to see this movie. They're going to get a kick out of it.
And you'll probably
The
get a kick out of it too.
Yeah, like I have two nephews and niece, or I have a nephew and a niece, and the nephew plays Minecraft. And I would be shocked if he doesn't go see this movie next week. I've already texted my uncle about it, saying like he would love this movie. You maybe need to just go take him to it. And it doesn't require like a crazy attention span. Doesn't do that. Like it's just it's a I want to say this. It's a well-made movie for what your audience is. It's perfect. They
Yep.
did such a good job. There's people quoting and yelling out, "I am Steve."
And
You
Chicken Jockey.
Chicken Jockey, Flint and Steel. We have people singing the Lava Chicken jingle. I mean, dude, this movie. just said we are going to go all in on our audience, and they
Yeah.
did. They did that so well.
Yeah, man, dude. It is I love how viral it's getting. It just makes me happy.
Yes.
And I also love you kind of brought it up. I wanted to bring up as well. It looks like Jack Black and Jason Momoa are having the absolute most fun time of their entire lives. And I genuinely feel like they probably did. You could just tell.
Yeah.
You could just tell how much fun. Jack Black's always having fun.
Yeah.
But I think in this movie even more so than some of his other stuff. Um, dude, he stole a show. Like dude, oh, he was just so good. Him and Momoa were having so much fun. It's good to see Momoa playing goofy characters kind of after we got him in a lot of Aquaman stuff. We kind of first saw him being a little goofy in Fast X,
Yeah.
and then um, what else was it? He was in something else where he played kind of a funny character, but um, he kills it here. There are some insane one-liners, like you said. It's great for kids. It's even good for like people our age, and I think even some parents can enjoy it as well because it's just so silly. The animation looks great. It really does. It was way better than I anticipated, and I would love to see more movies in this world with this animation style because I said as we were walking out of the theater, Minecraft, you can do anything in the world. You can make any kind of movie in the world set in Minecraft because of the kind of game that it is. Like it's a cheat code for movies at this
Yeah.
point. If they keep
You could
that
do.
same animation style, the amount of stories that they could
Yeah,
tell,
I
it's
mean,
just
dude,
absurd.
we didn't get any of like the big players in the Minecraft world. We didn't get the Ender Dragon. We didn't get the Guardians. We didn't get the Warden. We didn't get any of that stuff. And the movie was still like a movie. It felt like full of substance. Yeah, no, I'm with you, dude. Like the stories that you could tell in a world like this. I was kind of shocked when we found out it was a movie and not a show. That seems like this kind of like game could be an unreal show, just like every episode being something different, trying to accomplish something. But Jack Black absolutely sells it. So I think Jason Momoa is right there with him. The other three, the main characters in the movie, I know it's Dawn, uh, Henry, and I don't even remember the sister's name. I'm gonna be honest, because they're kind of forgettable because you realize how likable Jack Black is as Steve and Jason Momoa is as the Garbage Man, and Jennifer Coolidge's character as the principal and the villager. No, dude, it's very very, very obvious who they were trying to make this movie for. If you go in saying that you hate the movie and you're an adult and this is not what Minecraft is about, shut up. Shut up. Shut up. The movie's not made for anyone over 15 years old. So if you're
Yeah,
going in there being like, this is, I saw like 5 tweets today. Like, this movie sucks. Like, this is not what Minecraft is about. What is this joke? And I'm like, well, the movie wasn't intended to be made for you at all.
yeah,
So and then some person said probably the best tweet I've seen like all weekend. It was like this movie was so outrageous, so outrageously stupid, had everyone quoting one-liners and made me laugh a total of 5 times. It's a 10 out of 10 movie for me. And I was like, that's because you're an adult and you realize who the movie's made for. Just
yeah.
go have a good time. Just go have a good time. You're gonna laugh. If you don't laugh, then you already went into the movie hating it.
Yeah. And I saw the director say like, "Why'd you call it a Minecraft movie?" And he was like, "Because." He said, I just want this to be a story in the game of Minecraft. He said,
Yeah,
there are so many different stories in Minecraft. You can't just settle on like one main story. Obviously, the game has its like, you fight the Ender Dragon. That's like the main story. But the idea is that Minecraft can just be anything. So this is just a Minecraft movie. Now we can get another Minecraft movie and another Minecraft movie and another. It doesn't have to be like Minecraft 1, 2, 3. They can all be
exactly.
different, which I love.
Exactly.
So yeah, so we can kind of jump into our ratings. I definitely struggled with deciding where to rank this, and as like I've said in past ratings, I definitely factor in like enjoyment more so than I do like quality of the movie. Um, just is what it is. Like I obviously like we're nitpicky on like, and we enjoy like super good, artsy movies like The Brutalist or movies like Anora, things like that. But what movie am I gonna have the most fun in, and am I gonna rewatch 100%? Um, this is a movie that I will definitely rewatch at some point, and I had a great time in. I recognize it is a kids movie. It is definitely very stupid, it is what it is. This movie can't. I don't think it can really be rated much higher than what I'm about to rate it. So I gave it 3.5 stars on Letterboxd and settled at a 7.3. Um, that's at number 8 on the year. I've seen 21, which I mean I think is completely fair. It is way better than like critics were saying from out the jump, saying it was like a some people were giving it like a 1 or 2 out of 10 stars. No, no. This is obviously a little kid is going to think this movie's a 10 out of 10,
Yeah,
and they should. And if I was in when you try to get into that mindset of a little kid, yes, this would probably be my favorite movie of the year, you know, 10, 15 years ago.
yeah,
Um, so yeah, for me as a 25-year-old man, we had a great time with it. 7.3 is still a great score. I got it above like a couple pretty good movies this year. Like I have it above Hard Eyes, above Black Bag, Working Man, Death for Unicorn. So
yeah.
really solid. I'm curious as to what you ranked it. I had not talked to you about it at all.
Yeah, so I could not bring myself to give this movie a 3.5 stars on Letterboxd. I tried. I did enjoy it, and there were times where I like laughed, but like there were other parts of the movie where I was just like, okay, like I don't care. However, way better than a lot of critics were giving this movie. Like you said, 1, 2 stars. It is not a 1, 2 star movie. I don't know where anybody got that far. I still gave it a 3 stars on Letterboxd. That's still I feel like pretty fair. I don't think it's like anywhere like near a 1 or 2 stars. Does this movie suck? Absolutely not. 3 stars is still pretty damn good the last time I checked. I actually also have this ranked above Death of a Unicorn. Um, now I thought about just giving it 3.5 stars to do a 6.5 because like I thought a 6.5 was like almost a perfect score for it. Um, and I kind of thinking about it now, I probably should just go ahead and do that. But yeah, you know what? F it. We're gonna give it 3.5 stars. I'm gonna give it a 6.5. I think that is a fair score. I think the animation and the bromance and the jokes like give it that score. Again, there's some parts that it doesn't like they're not really made to be good parts of the story. They were just kind of filler parts, but it made me laugh enough. I had enough fun in it, and I enjoyed the animation enough to give it 3.5 stars to give it a 6.5. That's what I'm going with. I think that's a perfect
Yeah.
score.
Well, I'm glad you jumped up there a little bit to make it a 3.5. I definitely think the biggest cons for this movie for me, I mean nothing really against them, but I just don't think anybody outside of Momoa and Jack Black or Coolidge were that memorable. The two
No.
kids, I just don't think they were really that memorable. And Danielle Brooks is the girl that played Dawn. She's in Peacemaker.
Yeah.
Uh, I don't think either of them three were particularly like I didn't care about them. I
No.
cared about Jack Black and Momoa.
Yeah.
So I think that definitely brought it down a little bit for me. But other than that, dude, so much fun. We laughed our tails off. That's the hardest me and you have laughed in a movie together in a while. Like
Yeah.
we were
Yeah.
dying. So that goes a lot, goes a long way. I think both of our scores are fair. This movie kind of lives around a 3.5 star when you really break it down. But so much fun. I will say this is the most fun theater experience I've had of the year. Definitely would be number one for sure. So, um, yeah, that is a Minecraft movie.
And
Everybody,
the
check it out.
title drop, I give it like a 7 out of 10 because I
Oh
laughed.
yeah, yeah. It's
We need to
Minecraft
mine
title
and
drop.
craft. Let's Minecraft.
It's
I was
Minecraft
like, you know
bar.
what? That was kind of funny. That was kind of
Bars.
funny.
But yeah, no, dude, the most talked about movie of this year, and I think it will probably by the end of the year probably still be like one of the top three highest grossing movies this year, if not the
Oh
most.
yeah.
Um, a Minecraft movie. Go check it out. Bring your kids if you have them. Go without if you don't have kids. Go see it. It's funny. You'll definitely
Absolutely.
get a couple laughs. Um,
And your theater experience will be fun.
I cannot recommend this more. I literally think everybody will get some giggles out of this.
Yep.
Super fun movie. Go check it out for sure.
Yep.
All right, so that is our review for a Minecraft movie. Go check it out. To piggyback off of that, we wanted to do a little draft. It's been a while since we've done a draft. We wanted to do a draft of some of our favorite video game adaptations that we've seen in um, both film and television. So anything from TV shows to movies, and to kind of like open the playing field a little bit more instead of like just straight up adaptations. I think movies that are about video games are also completely fair to be taken off the board. I'm sure we both got some stuff in mind that, might not be uh, 100% based on like a real game, but definitely video game related. So uh, we love video games outside of movies and like sports. I would say video games is like our number one thing. We play several times a week, and we love video game content. So we thought this would be a super fun little draft to do. And yeah, we're gonna do five picks each, movies and shows mixed, like I said. And I'm about to ask Siri to flip a coin. And since I'll let you pick heads or tails last time, I'll pick. So I'm gonna go with heads. And if it's heads, then I'll get first pick. Hey Siri, flip a coin.
It's tails.
Shit, it's tails. Okay, so Wilk will get first pick of the video game draft. And then I will take second pick, and we'll just do a snake draft like we have in the past. So,
Well, guys,
Mr.
with
Wilkerson, take it away.
look, this was probably one of the most unanimous 1-1 picks that we'll ever do, right? Like, this is just the easiest pick that I could probably ever have, and
If it's not what I think it is, I'm gonna kill you.
it's obviously HBO's The Last of Us. I
Oh
mean,
my
it's
God, that's not what I thought you were gonna go.
what?
Just keep
Oh, I
going.
think I know your pick. I'm sorry, I have to do this one
Oh
because
yeah.
the reason I'm doing this one is I think there's less TV shows that we could pick from the movies. So I'm gonna pick a TV show first. And The Last of Us does the game justice. Not only that, this is one of the most interesting, complex stories in gaming. Like this is one of the best, well-regarded video games of all time. Joel and Ellie's relationship, how turmoil and how it like even the ending of that game, like how it sets up what we're gonna get in season two. Um, this is probably kind of a hot take to take this because we don't know how season two is gonna be. So
But
I'm
season one
taking
though is like
disclaimer. This is season one. I'm basing this off season one. Pedro Pascal is outstanding as Joel. I think that's one of the like characters they get right. Bella Ramsey does good as Ellie. She's not my favorite casting as Ellie, but she does a good job. And I will say the clickers, man, they look so good in that
it's
show.
creepy.
Yeah, it gives the same emotion from the game. And let me just say, one of the most well written, beautiful episodes that we're ever going to get from a video game adaptation that has really not even anything to do with the actual game. Nick Offerman deserves every award for that performance. I'm going with The Last of Us. I think this is an easy pick. I think I know where you're going with next, but the reason I picked The Last of Us is because there's less TV shows to choose from than movies.
Oh yeah, for sure. One of my first two picks since we're doing Snake will definitely be a TV show.
Yeah,
So, um, great pick. That's definitely like pure video game adaptation. That is 100% probably the best ever,
yeah,
season one anyway. So, um, not a bad pick at all. I honestly didn't think you were going to take it though. I thought you were about to take what I'm about to
yeah.
take.
I know what you're about to take. I think
I'm
because
gonna go
that.
with a movie that came out when we were in high school. I genuinely still think it's one of the best movies of the last 10 years, if not like one of my top like 15, 20 favorite movies ever. And that is Ready Player One. Ready Player One is probably the best movie about video games ever. I don't think there's even a question. We all absolutely loved it when it came out. I still watch it like probably at least once a year. Steven
Oh, I watch
Spielberg
it more than
directed
that.
it. Steven Spielberg directed it. Ty Sheridan as the lead. Give him more stuff. He's so good in that movie. Give us the sequel. They got the book out. Give us the movie sequel. But um, I freaking love Ready Player One, and I know you do too. I think it's visually one of the most incredible, pleasing to look at movies. It looks so good. It's a great story. It's great action, great acting.
A plus
Genuinely,
references.
yeah, the references are just insane, and it's just a love letter to people who love video games. Like it is, it's everything you could ever want. It even has like it references some real games, of course. It's just that the main storyline isn't necessarily based on a real game, but absolutely love it. It's in my mind, like I think these are the only two things that we could have taken first pick.
Yeah.
Probably the best like video game movie, and then you got the best video game show. So definitely got to take Ready Player One first. And since it's Snake Draft, I get pick number two. And just so I can make sure I have a show as well, I'm going to go ahead and take this. I think this was one of the more shocking shows of the last couple years. I did not anticipate it being as good as it ended up being, and I don't think you did either. One of the Probably one of the coolest video games of all time or video game series, but I don't think we knew if the show was going to be any good. And the show kicked it out of the
Yes,
park.
it did.
It is a fantastic show, and that is Fallout.
Yeah.
Came out on Amazon. It was either last year or 2 years ago. I can't remember.
Last year. It's last year.
It was early last year.
Yep.
You got Ella Purnell, Walton Goggins,
Yep.
Moises Arias,
Yep.
a couple other people you recognize, but awesome, awesome show. I did not expect it at all. With Last of Us, it's HBO, it's Pedro Pascal. Like, you know that's going to be a good show,
Yep.
and because of the kind of game it is. But
Hmm.
with Fallout, there's just so many different like directions you could have gone with it. And dude, I think the story they went with just kicked ass. It was
Yeah.
such a cool, good show, especially like for for a streaming service like Amazon Prime instead of like something like from HBO or Apple or whatever. Um, I had to take this pick number two because I feel like you probably would have taken it your second pick, and
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I wanted a TV show. I don't think it's. I think this and The Last of Us are two very different shows. Last of Us is much more serious,
Yep.
dark.
Yep.
Fallout is also dark, but it's a little more lighthearted. Definitely. Um, I love it. I cannot wait for season two. I know they announced the season two. It ends on a good cliffhanger. Walton Goggins with one of the best like villain performances of the last couple years. Um, I'm glad he's finally. I think that show like honestly kind of blew him up even a little more than he already was, and
Yeah.
now he's in like White Lotus, and obviously he's in a couple Tarantino movies and everything. So he's awesome. Great,
Yeah.
great show.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm gonna go Ready Player One with pick one and Fallout with pick two. Back to you.
Literally, if we would have gone, like, if you would have got first pick and you would have went Last of Us, let's just say you would have went Last of Us, I would have absolutely done Ready Player One and Fallout. Like, that would have been my next two, like, no question. I'm gonna go a movie for this one. This one was actually. Let me preface by saying this: I'm not a big fan, or not a big fan. I did not play these games growing up. These games growing up. So let me just preface saying that. But my second pick is gonna be Detective Pikachu with Ryan Reynolds and Justice Smith
Smith.
is his last name. This one was actually kind of shockingly good for me. I felt like that's another one. Like when that one was announced, I remember being like, Detective Pikachu, what is that? It made me laugh. I thought it was a very interesting story.
Very heartwarming.
Yeah, Ryan Reynolds was very good. And when he's, walking with his tail between his legs singing Pokemon, like I just love it. Justice Smith is very likable in this movie, is, trying to help Pikachu. Yeah, I think this one was kind of under the radar when it came out. I remember really, really enjoying it. And it was very heartwarming. Like you said, it was very entertaining. It's probably a movie that I kind of want to revisit as well because I
I haven't
don't think
seen
I've
it since
seen
me and
it.
you saw it in theaters.
Yeah, I don't think I've seen it since 2020 or 21, because it came out in 19. So yeah, no, Detective Pikachu. And then my third pick is I am a sucker for these kinds of games. Um, and I think if you can make a game, or if you can make a movie in this kind of style that does justice to like a racing game, then I think we should do it. I'm gonna go Gran Turismo as my number three. I
That would
think
have been
this
my next
one,
pick.
huh?
That would have been my next one.
Yeah, I think that this one is very hard to like judge because when it came out, like everyone loves like their racing game. They either like Forza, Gran Turismo, Need for Speed, F1, like all of those. That's what you're gonna do. And Gran Turismo not only did like the racing part justice, but it gave us a really good story about the actual person who played a video game and he became a racer because of that. I mean, you never really see that. And this is based on a true story, obviously. I think the racing scenes in this movie are very elite. I think they're very good. I'm hoping we get similar racing scenes in F1 later this year. This one was very entertaining, very entertaining. I loved them going to Le Mans at the end of the movie, the final race. I mean, Le Mans is iconic. Shout out Ford versus Ferrari. I mean, racing movies are always going to have a special place in our heart because we do love F1. We love the like adrenaline you get from racing. So Gran Turismo being on this list and it actually being a good movie was shocking for me, and I'm so glad that it was.
Yeah. Yeah, no, whatever year that was that came out, I think that was 23.
Yeah,
It was in my top 10 that year. Like
yeah,
awesome, awesome movie. Great. Like not even necessarily just a video game movie, like just awesome like sports feel good
yes,
story.
yes,
And it's true story, which is super cool. True
exactly,
story about like
exactly.
how video games basically launched this guy's racing career.
Yeah,
Just crazy,
yeah,
crazy, crazy story. No, I would have taken that next. I love that movie. I have not seen that since I saw it in theaters either. So I definitely want to rewatch that.
yeah,
Talking about and like even talking about Pikachu. I haven't seen that since we saw it
yeah. I
a
know.
while ago.
Yeah.
Um, Definitely I got to recheck that out too. It's been a while. So yeah, good picks. Back to me. Um, so all right, I think this is a good pick. Disney movie, animated movie. I'm gonna take Wreck-It Ralph. Wreck-It Ralph. Wreck-It Ralph, pick number three. I think Wreck-It Ralph is one of the best non-Pixar Disney movies. I guess
Yeah,
that's just what would just be like Walt Disney Animation Studio or whatever.
yeah, yeah,
Um, I love Wreck-It Ralph. Even the second one's great. John C. Riley's great in that lead role. Everyone else, it was such a cool concept, especially for people that liked video games like us as little kids. Um, just kind of showing like we've talked about like look at all of the things that Disney does so well. They bring bugs to life, they bring cars to life, they bring toys to life. This movie, it's not Pixar, but they bring video games to life and like the actual like 8-bit, characters in an arcade. So love, love, love Wreck-It Ralph. One honestly like one of my favorite Disney movies growing up. I watched it all the time. I've seen it so many times and even the second one I've only seen once or twice, but it's still a ton of fun. Kind of incorporates the second one kind of incorporates the internet a little bit more.
yeah.
But yeah, no, I absolutely love Wreck-It Ralph. I know you do too. I know you might not have even thought of that, but it was
No,
just
that's a good pick. That's actually a really good pick.
yeah.
Yep.
Um, so that's Wreck-It Ralph. I'm marking it off my list. And then for my next pick, it's definitely not one of I don't it got a I think it got a lot of hate when it came out, and it's definitely not perfect. I don't think it's the best adaptation that they could have done, but I really liked the movie. Came out a couple years ago. Tom Holland, Mark Wahlberg. I'm gonna go with Uncharted. Did you ever even see Uncharted?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because I know I remember seeing that by myself, but I really had a good time with Uncharted. I really, really did. Obviously, Tom Holland is like the man right now. I've always loved Mark Wahlberg. I think he's really entertaining in that as well. Like they go good together. I don't know if it even really is like based on any of the stories in the game, but I just remember the mystery and like the treasure hunt in that movie like being really cool. Especially I can still remember like the scene at the end of like the flying pirate ship
Yeah.
and then
Yep.
fighting on it. So sick. I
Yep.
don't care who you are,
Yep.
that's sick. Ton of fun. Definitely not like one of I don't know, not one of like the best movies, the best video game movies, but like personal enjoyment. I loved it. I definitely been wanting to rewatch that. It's been a while. Um, and I really hope they make a sequel. I know they kind of talked about it, but obviously Tom Holland is just insanely busy, so I'm pretty sure that, they're probably just waiting until he has time. Um, but yeah, so I'm gonna go Uncharted, my second pick. So yeah, Wreck-It Ralph and Uncharted off the board.
I will say this, not to anything like not to talk bad about that pick or anything, but like I think it was a better movie than it was an adaptation to Uncharted. I guess if that makes sense.
That
Like
makes sense.
as a movie, if it was not an adaptation, I think people would have probably liked it more. Um, but from what I've seen, and I haven't played even all the games, so like obviously, um, but I think people have more of a problem with like
How
the
young he was.
adaptation part and the casting for Nathan Drake and everybody, that part, more than they do the actual movie, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Um,
I never played any of them, but I've watched playthroughs of a couple of them. Tom Holland's definitely older than like you picture Nathan Drake being,
abs
but
yeah.
um, still a fun movie.
Yeah. Um,
All right, last two for you.
yeah, so look, I this one's kind of hard because like there's some movies that I don't like that I've seen, and of course, like I don't even know if you're gonna pick it, so I'll just wait. I'm not going to pick this movie. So if you pick it, then whatever. But if it's not picked, then we'll probably talk about it a little bit later. But so my next pick for fourth pick is going to be I don't know if you've ever played the games or even seen this movie. I used to watch it on like TBS or TNT back when we had like cable and everything. But it's the original Resident Evil with Mila Jovovich and everything.
Yeah,
I don't remember the games. I don't remember like much from the games. I've watched the playthroughs of the new ones and everything, but I don't remember like the actual video games, like the first one.
I really don't either.
But I remember this one coming on like TBS, TNT, and everything, and thinking these were like the craziest movies I've ever seen in my life. And now growing up, I have not watched them probably since I've seen them. I rewatched one. It was probably in high school, and I thought it was like very enjoyable and very action packed and everything. And you want to get like the almost like the body horror stuff that they do in Resident Evil. You wanted to get that right, and I thought they did a good job doing that. And it's an original enough story. I don't think it's like based directly on the games. It's kind of based in that world, I guess, if that makes sense. Still Umbrella Corporation, still stuff like that, but it's like a loosely based thing, you know? Kind of like Uncharted. It's a story in the universe, but not an actual story that's told. But I remember enough being like her attaching the gun to her leg and Pyramid Head and stuff like that is like cool, and seeing that in the later games and then finally coming to like action packed, bloody, gory, all of that stuff and the original Resident Evils, I remember that being enough for me to like actually enjoy it.
Yeah,
So
I don't know if I've ever there because there's a good amount of them,
yeah,
right?
there's like
Like
six or
there's a
something.
lot. I don't know which ones I've seen and which ones I haven't. I've definitely seen a couple. I might have seen the original, but definitely like good, like scary
Yeah, yeah,
adaptations.
it's
So
creepy, and the Umbrella
yeah,
Corporation is still effed up in the movie as well in the game. Also, I'm pretty sure I said Pyramid Head, and I'm pretty sure that's Silent Hill, so I apologize. And then my fifth pick, I'm picking this one based on how much money it made. Not like probably I still enjoyed it. I still think it's like cute and fun and stuff like that. But I'm gonna go with the Super Mario Brothers movie because I still did like actually enjoy it. Like it's not a bad movie. And the Mario Kart sequence on Rainbow Road is enough to like drag me in and really
yep.
enjoy it. The guy who played Donkey Kong's a funny character in that movie. Mario and Luigi, obviously seeing them on the big screen
You
in
said the
good.
guy who played Donkey Kong.
I can't remember.
It's Seth Rogen.
Yeah. Okay. My bad. See, my bad. I knew it was somebody big, but for some reason I want to say Jack Black, but I knew that wasn't right.
Jack
Um,
Black is Bowser.
yeah. Thank you. But anyways, the Peaches song is hilarious. You still like quote that. The animation being actually like really good because they made the live action Super Mario Brothers movie in the 90s. That's just the wildest movie anyone's ever seen. But this one being like good animation and actually bringing what feels like the Mario Galaxy to life, having Anya Taylor-Joy as Princess Peach and Chris Pratt as Mario, be that what you will. It's still entertaining, and I think we enjoyed it in the movie theater enough to like remember it. And of course, it made $1 billion at the box office. And let me just tell you this, I almost went with a Minecraft movie here. So I did, I almost was gonna put that
I
on.
have it on my short list. Yeah.
So, but no, Super Mario Brothers movie for my five. I feel like that's a pretty good list, and yeah, I'm not gonna
Yeah.
regret that list.
No, dude, I actually kind of want to go back and rewatch some of the Resident Evils. I have not seen those in a
Yeah,
lot. Um,
yeah,
I have a bad taste of Mila Djokovic after in the Lost Lands, so I need to refresh her to see that she actually is in some entertaining movies.
yeah,
And then Mario, like you said, not necessarily like the best movie, but
yeah,
I think it is the animation in that movie
yes,
is so
yep,
good. It is so colorful. I feel like a lot of movies nowadays, even some animation, like it's just not super bright anymore.
yep,
That movie, the colors like slap you in the face.
yeah.
It's awesome. It looks so good. Illumination killed it. That movie made like a $1.5 billion. So kind of wild. Jack Black's been in like two of the biggest video game adaptations of all
But
time. Pretty,
it works, like it
yeah.
doesn't feel out of place.
Yeah. Yeah, so two good picks. So now for my last pick, there's a bunch of things I've written down and we'll go over like honorable mentions, but I'd be kidding myself if I didn't say I thought this was like one of the coolest movies when I was a little kid growing up. My brother showed it to me because I played the games with him on the original Xbox when they came out. And that is the first Lara Croft Tomb Raider
Oh yeah.
with Angelina Jolie.
Yeah.
She made two of them, and then we got the remake of whatever 5 years ago or whatever,
Yeah.
um, which is still all right, but I don't think any of them touched the original one with Angelina Jolie. Number one, she's just that was her in her prime. She was just absolutely smoking hot in that
Yeah.
movie. I always enjoyed the games too, though. My brother had the games, and those were a little bit harder games, and I was a little kid when he was playing those. But I remember sitting and watching them, and I really liked like the mystery of it and everything. And Laura Croft was just a badass.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, no, I love the original, The Cradle of Life, which is a sequel. That one's a little bit more out there. It's one with like Pandora's Box. I don't know if you remember like the dramatic scene of them like running up the pyramid.
Yeah.
Um, but I think the first one is like legit a great action movie, and I'd be lying to myself if I didn't take that. So, let me go ahead and write that down, Laura Croft. So. Let's recap both lists and then we can kind of talk about some honorable mentions. So Wilk went with The Last of Us, Detective Pikachu, Gran Turismo, Resident Evil, and the Super Mario Bros. Movie. And then I went with Ready Player One, Fallout, Wreck-It Ralph, Uncharted, and Lara Croft Tomb Raider. Two really solid lists, two very different lists. There's just, like I said earlier, we're finally getting a lot more like video game content, and I love it. I'm glad we are. I'm sure we'll get another Minecraft movie. I think Super Mario Bros. 2 has already been
Yep.
confirmed.
Yep.
Um, we'll definitely probably get a Fortnite movie within the next 5 years. Um, yeah, things like that. Dude, you know what I noticed neither one of us took? None of like our shooter games have really gotten,
I was going to say after we talk about the ones that missed the list, maybe we could come up with like two each that we wish would get
yeah.
an adaptation.
Yeah. So yeah, some of my honorable mentions I have written down. I also had Minecraft written down. Like I was ready to take it at probably pick number five, but
Yeah.
I just chose not to. But obviously we talked about it earlier. Ton of fun. Um, what else did I have written down? I wrote down Free Guy with Ryan Reynolds, real fun movie a couple years ago. And then I also wrote down Tron Legacy, which we talked about earlier. Um, what else? Pixels with Adam Sandler. You don't like, dude, I always enjoyed that movie. I always thought it was entertaining. And I think it's just the cast. It's who is that? It's Adam
Kevin
Sandler,
James.
Kevin James,
Yeah.
Peter Dinklage, and
Yeah.
Josh Gad. Like
Yeah.
I'm there. I really like Pixels. And then another older one, I don't even know if you've seen it, Prince of Persia with Jake
Yeah.
Gyllenhaal.
Hmm.
Really solid, like Disney movie a couple years ago, or not a couple years ago, like 10 plus years ago. Those games were always super cool. I definitely played those a little bit growing up. And then a very much more recent one came out last year, Sonic the Hedgehog 3. I think it's the
I'm
best
surprised.
one.
I'm surprised you didn't take any of
Yeah.
the Sonics.
No. I don't necessarily just love the first two, but the new one that came out last year is sick. It is
Yeah, I thought
so,
you were gonna
so
take a Sonic
no,
3.
I thought I was going to take Sonic 3 as well. That would have probably been my next pick. But Sonic 3, Sonic the Hedgehog 3, I don't even know if you've seen any of them. But
Mm,
the third one, the new one is great. They're all on Paramount, I think.
yeah.
You should check them out whenever you have some free
The
time. But
so the one I was like that's obviously off the list that I thought I've heard that the 90s one is better than the remake that came out in 21 is Mortal Kombat. And I did not like the one in 21. I thought it was just all over the place. But I hear that the one in 95 is like one of those cult classics that like if you've seen it, you're gonna enjoy it
yeah, I've
if you
never seen it
understand.
either.
I've never seen it, so that's why I didn't take any of the Mortal Kombats. But yeah, that was one, and I believe they made some Street Fighter games too. I don't know if they're any good, but I think there's one or two Street Fighter games. And then the one that's like glaringly obvious, um, is I've actually seen it, and I know for a fact you have not seen it. Is Arcane on Netflix? I've
You
actually
watched
seen it.
that?
Yeah, I did.
People love it.
Yeah. So the only reason I didn't is I have not ever played a single ounce of League of Legends, not one. So I'm not going to. We were going off this list based on stuff I think stuff we basically like played or seen played. Guys, I'm not gonna lie to you. I do not play League of Legends. Not 1 ounce. Not
I hear
one
the
second.
show's great.
But the show's good. But I haven't played the video game. Or yeah, I haven't played the game. So everything else that we listed, we've played probably
Yep.
or
Yep.
seen played.
Yep.
Um, so two ones. The first one that I want to get off, like that I think would be a very cool adaptation. One is Shadow of the Colossus. I think it's one of the best video games ever made.
I thought
Um,
that was like in
I
development.
thought it was too, and we have yet to see it. But I think Shadow of the Colossus, anything they do, whether it's a animated movie or if they could do a live action somehow movie or TV show, I think Shadow of the Colossus would be unreal. I think it is awesome. And then my second one that I think would just be insane is finding one of the Dark Souls, Elden Ring, Bloodborne games to do for something. I would kill for that. I would kill for anything Souls related. Elden Ring is probably one of my favorite games of all time, and Bloodborne is up there as well. So, one of those games I think would be just so sick to see as a movie or TV show or something.
Yeah, yeah. Dude, Shadow of the Colossus. God,
Yeah,
that.
no, that is elite.
Wait, okay. According to IGN, the director, who is the director? I don't know. Wait, Andy Muschietti is making it. Shadow of the Colossus movie is still in the works, says director Andy Muschietti.
But I feel like that's been for
They
years.
have been talking about that for years. That movie would be sick. I didn't
Yes.
even think about that. That's a great pick. Um, Shadow of the Colossus, and then I obviously, and I know you would agree. I don't think you said it, but um, dude, give us a Call of Duty movie with the characters that we love so much. I think
Yeah.
you could get like a non-zombies related story, like with like, I don't know, what's the more intriguing storyline? Probably like some of the Modern Warfares.
You could get
Yeah.
away with doing Modern Warfares or the Black Ops. Like
Yeah.
you could get
Yeah. Do like a more grounded, like realistic, like in the games. And then you could also do a sick ass zombies movie. And we almost borderline got that with Overlord a couple years ago.
yeah,
We
we
both
did.
we both loved that movie. That
Yeah,
was
we
a great,
did.
great, great
Yeah.
movie. It's just
Um,
not officially connected, so I didn't want to
no.
pick it here. But
Um,
yeah.
if we got a zombies movie, I don't care if it sucked, I would be the biggest defender of that movie. I think another one that they could do, but it's already so much like a movie is a Red Dead movie.
Oh, dude.
But
Oh, that'd be sick.
it's already so good the way it is. Like,
Well, that's what people said about Last of Us, man.
yeah,
And
you're right, you're right, you're right.
if they can do it for a game that's as loved as the first Last of Us, they can do it for Red Dead. That would be great.
Look, we've seen a great Fallout series and a great Last of Us series. You can do like if you
You
go
can do
the
a Red Dead.
series
Right, you
route,
can't do a Red Dead movie because it's so big.
yeah,
But you could do a series, make it several seasons,
yep,
and it would be sick.
yep, yep.
Um, yeah, dude. Wow. I think you smoked. I just went basic with like Black Ops or Call of Duty, and you Shadow of the Colossus and that. Oh my God. Yeah.
Dude,
Give us.
I'm a video.
I hope with the success of Mario and Minecraft
Yes.
that we will continue to get more
I'm
stuff.
just I like as much I love movies. I love video games as equally. So if I don't play the game, I watch the game. So like a lot of the games that come out like already this year, like Adam Fall, First Berserker Kazan, like those movies, I've already like watched all the way through. So
Yeah. Well, all right. Yeah, that's our video game
God of
draft.
War.
Yeah. But you got to give me Dave Batista
Yep.
as what's his name.
Yep.
Yeah, that'd be sick too. Gears of War. Gears of War would be cool.
Mm-hmm.
We got to stop. We could go about this all day.
Yep.
So yeah, that's our video game draft in honor of a Minecraft movie. We love video games, so that was a fun, different little draft that we've been looking forward to doing. So, as we close out every week, we're going to talk about some stuff we've been watching. I actually watched a ton of stuff this week.
Me too.
Um, and to kind of start us off, I did want to give like a brief review for Ash. It's a new movie that came out this year, starring
Aaron Paul.
Aaron Paul and Isaac Gonzalez. Um, Super short, pretty simple sci-fi thriller. Isaac Gonzalez wakes up, stranded on this ship on a planet, and she has lost her memory, and She's kind of tripping out. A lot of crazy things are happening, and Aaron Paul shows up. He was like on the base, like floating around the planet, and he goes down to see what happened, and then a bunch of stuff goes on with them. Super simple, like less than an hour and a half movie, super short. Uh, and it's really you just, I mean, you get other people, but you're really just spending time with just them two for the most part, and it's basically kind of just more so about her like trying to figure out if she's going mad or not. And then it is kind of a slow like first two acts, kind of slow, especially the second act. But the third act, when it reveals everything that's going on and what her hallucinations have been about and what really happened to all of her crewmates, is great. It is sick, like super, super cool. Um, Alien stuff done in a way that I've not ever seen it done before. Basically, like an alien infects their crew, and um, a lot of crazy shit happens. They kill each other and all kinds of wild stuff. But um, not necessarily just the most amazing sci-fi movie, but definitely not bad. I will say, the biggest thing about this movie that stuck out to me is like um, the coloring and the lighting of it. I don't know if you've even seen the trailer, but a lot
Yeah.
of it is done in like blue and pink and like
Yeah.
purple lighting.
Hmm.
And that is just, it looks so good. It really, really looks good. It's kind of like the color of the lights on the planet and then the lights from the ship. A lot of like scenes in like red rooms and blue rooms, and you even like get green, and it's just a really good visually appealing movie. Even in the parts that kind of drag a little bit. Nothing groundbreaking. I don't think really either of the acting performances were that good. Isaac Gonzalez is just really good at being hot. And Aaron Paul, I just can't think of him being in anything else other than Jesse Pinkman for the rest of his life. I just
uh,
can't. Like I see him, I just think Jesse Pinkman. I think, yeah, bitch, shut up, bitch.
Mr. White,
Mr.
Mr. White.
White. Uh, yeah, but I wanted to just kind of give a little brief little thing. I think I gave it 2.5 stars on Letterboxd, and I rated it a 5.4.
Okay.
Nothing groundbreaking. It is not a bad movie. It is just not really anything that special.
Yeah.
If it comes out on streaming, I recommend you check it out. I know you'd probably find some enjoyment in it, and I think it's very well made and like well lit and shot. Very, very unique, colors and everything like that. But yeah, you watched the new show this week. You wanted to give a brief review on too.
Yeah, I would spend like 2 minutes max on this. So, I watched a new release from Netflix called The Residents, and it's basically a whodunit in the White House. Someone kills the chief usher, played by Giancarlo Esposito. Let me start by this: he is a lot better in this show than he was in The Electric State. So that's good. No, he actually plays a very interesting character. We get his backstory later in the show. There's two or three really, really slow episodes that I didn't think had any like almost nothing to do with the overarching plot and who actually did it. We get some characters that are introduced really late that I kind of don't like. When you do a whodunit and you're like, oh, who's killing it? Don't introduce characters that might have done it very, very late. That's kind of dumb and pointless in my opinion. I would like to know like who all may have done it. Like Knives Out does it perfectly. Everybody that we think may have done it is in the beginning and we know all of the characters' names. Um, I think her name's Yuzo Adoba. Yeah, Aduba, sorry. Cordelia Cup. She is actually awesome. I love her character. She loves bird watching, so like her main thing is bird watching in this show, but she's also like a freak detective. She's awesome. We get David Lee, who is Dave from the Alvin and the Chipmunks movies, if you remember.
Oh my
Um
God.
yeah, no, he's in this. He is hilarious. Giancarlo Esposito, Randall Park is also in it. Him and Detective Cup go back and forth. Very, very funny. But no, I just think the reveal in the end is just kind of not what I wanted it to be. I did like the last episode. It's very long, an hour and a half. It's almost like a movie. Trying to figure out how she figured it all out, who done it. But as far as like okay, I will say this is better than the other Netflix release I watched. Zero Day. Zero Day was not as good as this. This one was definitely more entertaining, but it's more entertaining because of the banter back and forth, funny like comments and everything. So it's not perfect. It's not Knives Out level. It's not anything like that, but it's still definitely enjoyable. if I had to rate it, it would probably be in the probably 6 to 7 range. So it's not like amazing, but it is still very entertaining.
Yeah. Hey,
But yeah, that's the resume.
now you can watch Paradise.
Yeah, Paradise is my next watch.
Yeah,
Yep.
it's a good quick watch, only like
Yep.
8 episodes.
Yep.
You'll enjoy that. Um, So yeah, I did say I watched a lot of stuff. I want to kind of circle back to from the very beginning of this podcast. The day we found out Val Kilmer passed, I had never seen Tombstone, and I've been wanting to watch it for ages. I went home after work and I watched Tombstone for the first time. Oh my God, such a sick movie, dude. You know, Val Kilmer aside, it is an incredible, incredible movie. And then he is not even the main character of that
Nope.
movie. He 100% steals the show
Yep.
for me personally. Doc Holliday and I've always heard like the some of the lines, "I'm your Huckleberry," and
Yeah.
"I'm in my prime." I've heard that before, but I never really knew it was him. Um, so shout out Val Kilmer, fantastic movie. And another Val Kilmer movie I watched was Kiss Kiss Bang Bang with kind of a murder mystery with him and Robert Downey Jr. And apparently Kiss Kiss Bang Bang was like RDJ's like real first jump back into the Hollywood scene after everything like all the bad stuff had happened
Mhm.
before Iron Man. And Val Kilmer. It's just a buddy comedy between them, kind of like the Nice Guys. It's very, very Nice Guys vibes. Very funny. Val Kilmer plays a gay police detective. He is so funny. Most everything he's known for, like Top Gun, Tombstone, he's not necessarily funny. He is freaking hilarious in Kiss Kiss Bang Bang. I highly recommend you check it out. I think you would like it. And then yeah, I checked out I watched a couple other movies this week. I watched Fury for the first time in a couple years. Still one of my favorite war movies of all time. I know
Yep.
me and you saw that in theaters when it came out, like however long ago that was. And then I actually checked out a new release that came out this year, One of Them Days. I watched that. It came out on Netflix. Um, Nothing crazy. I had a couple laughs. Keke Palmer's really good. I don't think Sis is a very good actress. Cat Williams is really funny. Um, Nothing wild. You're not missing much there. So, did you watch anything else you wanted to share, or did you pretty
Um,
much just work on that show?
Not any new movies. Yeah, this show was kind of hard to watch because I actually, with Cameron being out of town, I was actually kind of busy with school, so that sucks. But no, nothing like that I haven't seen before because most of it was like background. But I rewatched all three Toy Stories, forgot how good that trilogy is, and I'm so glad there's only three movies.
Yeah, dude, me too. Great trilogy. Definitely great ending. I'm glad they decided to stop there.
Yep,
So yeah, so we're about to be cut off here due to time, but thank y'all for tuning in. Like, subscribe, all that stuff. Comment what you want to hear us talk about, what you think about our ratings.
yep,
We have a pretty big episode next week as well. Obviously, we'll talk Daredevil in the studio. The Last of Us premieres, and there's three pretty big movies that we want to check out this week.
yep,
We will definitely 100% both be talking about Warfare.
yep.
I think I'm seeing Drop tomorrow. And
I'm
I
see
think we both might try to check out The Amateur as
I
well.
think the amateur I'm going to see on Saturday. So
Three, maybe I'll come with you. Three pretty good movies. So we're excited to talk about those next week. But until then, thank y'all for watching, and we will see you guys in episode 15.
love you guys. Thank y'all. Bye.
Chicken
Chicken
Jockey.
jockey.